I hope you all can see me well. Sorry about the camera light. There we go. Fix that. I wanted to talk about what got me into Godzilla and why I love the franchise so much. Well, I think I've pretty much told you all about why I love Godzilla, but I don't think I really talked about what got me into Godzilla. Now, some of you may not know that it was one of my childhood icons. Godzilla was one of my childhood icons when I was a kid. You know, most kids were all about Star Wars and Jurassic Park. And then there was me that just, I loved Godzilla. I didn't care about anything else. I mean, I loved movies and stuff like that, but when it came to Godzilla, he or it, or it depends on, pretty sure it's referred to as he, but also it. It's never really clarified in the Heisei series, you know. But then again, well, cause that's the thing is that they say that uh, baby Godzilla was adopted by Godzilla, and it's like, but who produced the egg? That was kind of left unchecked in that film. That was a little confusing because they're like, oh, he just came from nowhere, and oh, it's Godzilla's son now, and he looks just like him. And it's like, yeah, of course, yeah, Godzilla can't sexually a produce, or they talked about it in the what was it, the Godzilla in 1998. They went into full detail about you know him being able to reproduce, and I always thought of that possibility in the Heisei universe with Heisei Godzilla, but that was an American thing, so I could be completely wrong. Anyways, at this point I'm just rambling. So, but anyways, I completely went off topic. I was talking about how most kids loved Star Wars or loved Pokemon was a big thing when I was a kid. Everyone loved Pokemon and Star Wars, and what else did we have back then? And Harry Potter. Harry Potter was really big back in my day, but I always chose Godzilla. I think maybe because of the horror aspect of it. I just love the horror. That's why I love the 1954 film because of the horror. And, it was atomic horror. And it showed what damage was caused by this one creature that was created from the atom bomb. And it just always fascinated me. I wasn't really big into Harry Potter or fantasy or any of that stuff. Oh, which one, Mr. Goobs? The 98 or 2014? The 98, I can take it or leave it. 2014's okay. But if I have to pick a favorite, Godzilla design, obviously it's gonna be the Japanese one. It's gonna be Gido Goji. That's just me. Oh yeah. It was okay. Oh baby. Um, I don't know. The baby Godzillas, they looked like velociraptors in the 98 film. That's what they reminded me of. But then again, 98 was basically, it was a combination of Beast from 20,000 Fathoms and Jurassic Park. Um, so the movie itself wasn't even original. No, I mean, I don't hate 98. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate American 98 Godzilla, but I saw Godzilla in 1985 first. That was my first Godzilla film. It was 1985. I know I said Son of Godzilla. My dad showed me that, but I just want to pretend I never saw that film. uh, no, no, Son of Godzilla was not that bad. It was not that bad. But yeah, I don't know. 98 Godzilla, I didn't really care for it. Oh, Monster X. Yeah, definitely. Um, I loved. I love. Oh yeah, Final Wars was a lot of fun. I liked Final Wars. I know a lot of people hate on Final Wars. Sorry, damn candle. I know a lot of people don't like Final Wars, but I thought it was a lot of fun. But then again, when I saw Final Wars, it was back in 2004 and I was still in high school. So I just, at that point, I was just taking as much Godzilla as I could take. I didn't care if it was bad or good. I was just grateful to have any Godzilla because back then it wasn't, Godzilla wasn't as big. Well, I don't want to say it wasn't as big. There wasn't as much Godzilla material now as there was. There is so much Godzilla material now that there wasn't back then. And, you were lucky to get your hands on any of it. Any of it. So, yeah, it was definitely great. The Godzilla games, the Godzilla Final Wars was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, the 98 Godzilla, just, it could have been better. Anyways, oh, but they did, didn't they remake Megalon for the new one, the Gemstone Godzilla? They have the. I don't know if you've watched it, Mr. Goobs. It's really good. It is really good. You should see Godzilla versus Megalon, and it's the remake. It's Gemstone Godzilla. They also did Godzilla versus Gigan Rex, and they actually incorporated the kick from Godzilla versus Megalon in there in a way, in an epic way. Where do I get my ideas from? That's a good idea. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Well, I'm a poet, I'm a writer. I've wrote a lot of my scripts, and I don't know, I love movies. I love movies. I love Godzilla in general, and I've just always been fascinated by the entertainment industry. With the Godzilla films and old Hollywood, not new Hollywood. I don't really care for a lot of the stuff that's coming out of Hollywood nowadays. So, and I do like the Godzilla movies. So obviously, Japanese media. If you guys, the voices are getting louder. What the heck? What? Oh, come on. What? Get out of here with that. Uh, anyways, yeah, Mr. Goobs, you should definitely check out. Is that a bot? It's got to be a bot. Report. Kiryu was great. Honestly, I love Kiryu. Kiryu is amazing because it blends Mecha Godzilla from the original. It looks a lot like the original Mecha Godzilla, but way more improved, a lot more structure, and more jagged pronunciation. Something that the Mecha Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mecha Godzilla 2 lacked. He looked too round and just he wasn't fierce. He didn't have a malevolence about him like Kiryu did. Because Kiryu was his soul was jaded because he had the soul of the 1954 Godzilla in him. And I always thought that concept was really cool. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this, but Cyberzilla did it first in the 98 after Godzilla the American series, the animated series. It was a direct sequel to the 98 movie, but they were going to make a sequel, but because it performed so poorly at the box office, they just said, let's just do the TV series. And so they did the TV series and they created Cyberzilla. And basically, it was the original American Godzilla 98, and it was his soul and his body, but he was Mecha Godzilla. So they did it first in that. But Kiryu was better. But that's just my opinion. Haha! No, I'm outside. It's really nice outside. So, I feel like going outside, burning a candle. You know, you spend too much time inside. You go, it's just, I like being outside. Tell us a theory you made yourself. Um, I can tell you a theory about. Um, well, here's a theory because I know this has come into question a lot about Godzilla and him not being able to exist in this plane, this plane of existence, this universe, because his weight would give way and his bones would crush, and he would fall apart. Basically, he would turn into a big blob. Now, I come to the conclusion that he doesn't pay tribute to physics. He's a god. Godzilla is a god. He's a god incarnate. They even touched base on that in Shin Godzilla. They said he was a god incarnate. And I always just was fascinated by that. And I even thought that before Shin Godzilla. I'm like, because everyone would say, oh, Godzilla couldn't exist in this universe. But, what if there could be a universe where he could exist? Maybe not on Earth, maybe not here. So, exactly. He's a god. I mean, it's in the title, Godzilla. I mean, how long? And the thing is, when Heisei Godzilla died, it wasn't because of anyone else. It was because his body could not contain that power anymore. And so he just imploded. He became too powerful. But yeah, I've always been fascinated by the theory that, yeah, he's not of this world. Yes, he was created by the atomic bomb, but I don't know. It could be a different universe all entirely where the atomic bomb affected creatures differently. Here, radiation sickness, you die. But what if? What if? I always think about that. Shogun Warriors. I do not remember Shogun Warriors. Is that a side scroller? Yep. Basically. Basically. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it doesn't matter who you ask. I mean, I love Kong. Kong's great, but yeah, of course. I mean, and it's it's they already touched base on that. I mean, he did almost lose. Well, no, Kong Godzilla almost killed Kong. He literally almost killed Kong. He stomped on his chest and stopped his heart. That that was it. Except in the Japanese release, Kong won, which was funny. Isn't that funny? He won in the American release, but in the Japanese release, Kong won. In the original 19, I believe 19, don't, 1962, no, yes, no, maybe, yes, 1962. Is that when King Kong vs. Godzilla came out? I believe it was. I could be wrong. Hmm. But anyways, yes, he won. Kong won at the very end of that movie, and that that suit has not aged well. I'm just gonna be honest here. That suit still looks ridiculous. Even when I was a kid, I thought that suit was ridiculous. I'm like, he doesn't even look like a gorilla. Like I saw some of the, you know, the Kong I would love to see. The Kong that I would love to see. Okay, this would be my ideal Godzilla versus Kong movie. Jeff Bridges King Kong versus Heisei Godzilla. Take the Jeff Bridges Kong. That Kong was amazing. He was amazing. The Jeff Bridges, the 1970s Kong, that was definitely my favorite King Kong. I would have loved to see him fight Godzilla. And it's funny, somebody actually did a fan edit. They did a fan edit trailer where they had Heisei Godzilla, Gedo Goji fighting frickin' 1970s Kong. And I'm like, yes, this is the movie I want. Suit actors beating the crap out of each other in frickin' amazing looking suits. That's what I want. Destroya, I don't know. I mean, do I think he's overrated? I'm not really big into the G fan community, so I don't. I know that a lot of people say that a lot of people want to see Destroyer come back in the new MonsterVerse uh, movie, and that would be awesome. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he could be considered overrated. I think an underrated monster is Boggin, but then again, uh, yes, Gamera Heisei and Gamera and Godzilla Heisei. That would have been awesome because those movies were so freaking amazing. The Gamera Heisei trilogy. Oh my god. Ah, perfection. That whole I saw Gamera Guardian of the Universe when I was a kid, and back when ADV films they released Neon Genesis Evangelion on VHS and DVD. Yeah, I was back ADV and all that stuff, and they released the Gamera movies, and those were freaking awesome. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Arrow did a re-release of all of the Gamera movies, not the MST3K ones though. Yes, the Gamera. I say the Gamera trilogy, the Gamera Heisei trilogy is amazing. 1990s trilogy. All I don't. Yeah, I think Gamera 3 came out in '99 as well, so it was all in the '90s. So yeah, I'd say that they were all great. The first one, uh, I hate to say this, guys, and please don't hate me for saying this, but I did not like the original Gamera movie, and it's probably because I saw the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of it. I saw all of them, and it just, oh my god, oh, that ruined it for me, because then all I could hear was Kenny and just all the mocking, all the just. If you guys haven't watched Mystery Science Theater 3000, I highly recommend it. Watch the older episodes. A lot of the older episodes are freaking amazing. They're hilarious. And it's funny is that Joel actually got in trouble because he did a review of Godzilla versus Megalon, but he didn't get Toho's authorization, and so they took it off completely. So you can't even watch his Godzilla versus Megalon review. I thought, oh man, I still want to see it. I still want to see it. Oh man. Oh yes. I can't do that laugh. No, I'm not gonna try. uh, but yes, his laugh is amazing. Um, Mr. Googs, did you like Shin Ultraman? Did you like Shin Ultraman? I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I don't know. I don't know how you all feel about Shin Ultraman. I've actually been going on an Ultraman craze recently. I even watched Ultra Q, and it's funny as I actually wanted to do a debate review on just my take of I liked Ultra Q more than Ultraman. And maybe the reason why I liked Ultra Q more than Ultraman was probably because it leaned more towards the Twilight Zone, where there was mystery and it wasn't just guys beating each other up in suits, but it was like, they were solving mysteries like with Gomez and then the spiders. And just, it was so fascinating because I love it. I love it. Right? No. Yeah, Bolton is amazing. I like Ultraman a lot. But I really liked Ultra Q. So if you all haven't watched Ultra Q, and if you like Twilight Zone, like horror and just science fiction, stuff that makes you think, and they have a little message at the end of every episode. Some of them are kind of like weird and don't match, but the rest of them are actually pretty cool, and they make you think. Also, Neo Ultra Q is really good too. Yes, yes. God's my favorite Godzilla is Heisei. I'll be honest. You got me. Yep. And 1954. And 1954. And Shin. Oh God. Now I can. Oh, I can't pick a favorite now because minus one was awesome. Shin was awesome. Heisei was awesome. I liked Millennium in Against Mecha Godzilla and Tokyo SOS. I thought he looked really cool in that one. I know a lot of people didn't like it because he looked more like a cat, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a cat person. I love cats, so I love Biollante, and I know everyone hates Biollante, and it's terrible. But I actually am obsessed with Biollante. She's my favorite monster in the universe because her story is so tragic. Because of Erica, and her soul is trapped inside of this kaiju beast, and it's almost like it made me. And obviously, it was before Full Metal Alchemist. But when I saw that episode of Full Metal Alchemist where the dad fuses his daughter and the dog together, that reminded me so much of Biollante. And I just always wondered what it was like being inside Biollante's mind. I'm inside of a kaiju's body, and yet I still have my soul, but I have this different body, and I'm a monster now. And I just always thought about it like that. Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. Biolante has the most tragic backstory compared to whereas Space Godzilla, he's just a dick. He's like, you know what? I don't like you, Godzilla, and I'm just gonna take you out. It's like, wow, thanks, bro. I thought we were bros. Oh man. I should totally do that. I should totally do a funny video of them bickering like brothers at each other. It's like, bro, I thought we were cool. No, you thought wrong. Stupid. But yeah, no, Space Godzilla's a dick. Biolante is tragic. And, I actually feel bad for Heisei Universe King Ghidorah too, because he was manipulated. When you think about it, by the Futurians, he was manipulated. He didn't really have control over what was going on. He was thrown. He was taken from his home, and then he was thrown on a freaking island where it exploded. And then, by the way, oh, now you're a slave to the Futurians. Oh, free will thought? No, King Ghidorah, you don't get that. Even though your name's King Ghidorah, you may as well be mindless Ghidorah. So yeah, that what happened to King Ghidorah kind of that always pissed me off. That was one thing that always pissed me off about. And I love Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, flaws and all. But that was one thing that annoyed the crap out of me was that they turned frickin' King Ghidorah into a puppet. But then again, I suppose he was a puppet in, you know, Ghidorah the three-headed monster and Destroy All Monsters. So I suppose he's technically always been a puppet. But I don't know. I loved what they did with him in GMK, where they freaking Servant Ghidorah. Servant Ghidorah. They just I loved what they did with him in the 10,000-year-old dragon, or the 100 something like that. I always get it confused. A 10,000, 100,000-year-old dragon, something like that. But anyways, he was a protector. And I always thought that was a cool twist they did with GMK. That was always awesome to me. The music, I don't know. Maybe that's something I don't really talk about is Akira Ifukube. I love his music. I am a big fan. I collected a lot of his stuff on vinyl. So, yeah, I was a big fan of Akira Ifukube. Yes, I have seen Singular Point, and it reminded me a lot of Shin Godzilla. And Shin was I love Shin. I know a lot of people don't like Shin, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was amazing. I mean, yeah, there are some things that could have been better. Like the casualties, they should have included casualties to more home, make it hit more home. You know what I'm trying to say? To make it more personal, and because when it was just focused on the government, and it's like, oh look, buildings are being destroyed, but guess what? Nobody's in them. Who cares? I mean, there was like that one couple that one couple at the very beginning that are getting ready to leave and the building gets knocked over. That was the only time you saw anyone get hurt. And then you saw the prime minister get self-deleted. So, yeah. But thank you all for joining me. I actually have to go, but it was an honor to be with you all and talk with you all about Godzilla. And thank you all for joining me. And I hope that you all have a wonderful night. And I hope to see you all again. Take care. Oh, yes, exactly. By the way, yeah, he went through a lot. It was terrible what happened to Shen. You know, he wasn't. It wasn't really. Anyways, yeah. I'll talk to you later, Popeye. Take care. You guys rock. You guys are awesome.